Every year, extreme weather leaves millions without electricity for extended periods of time. Are you ready for this? Homes on electric grid experienced 1.3 billion outages of hours last year. That's just so incredible. But there's a solution, and HGTV star Anthony Caruno is here to tell us what we need to do. Anthony, how are you?
Doing well. Thanks for having me.
So that is such an amazing number of power outages for people around the country, but there are solutions to pretty much help you to have electricity, right?
Yeah, there is. So I'm standing in my house in the Catskill Mountains. For context, I lose power up here around 11 times a year. Can be anywhere from a couple of hours to a couple of days, and then you can add in the natural disasters on top of that. So I recently finished a home renovation over the summer, and I made the decision to put in a propane-powered full home backup generator, and now when we lose power, I don't.
Interesting, because when I think of a generator, I think of something that's out in the backyard. You go plug in and you put gasoline and you pull it and it turns on a couple of lights. Tell me about this one.
Yeah, so that's certainly an option, and to be clear, there are a number of options. So what I did and what I'm going to recommend here, I think, is the best way to do it. So that is a propane-powered whole home generator with an automatic transfer switch. So very simply, licensed plumber will come and do the gas piping, licensed electrician will come and do all the wiring. And then what the automatic transfer switch does is it monitors the power from the power company coming down the line. When it feels it fail, it automatically switches your generator on and repowers your home. And believe it or not, that all happens in about 5 seconds.
Wow, that's amazing. Now we're looking at your house. Now, does it matter the size of the house that people have?
No, it really doesn't. Large to small, size of the home does not matter. But what does matter is sizing the generator appropriately for your electrical load. So my recommendation, you can go on Kohler Power, you can go on Generac, you can go on Briggs & Stratton, and they all have electrical load calculators. So very simply, you'll click off the boxes for the various electrical components and appliances you have in your home, and then it will spit back to you the appropriately sized generator and how much that generator will cost you.
You said propane. Why propane?
Yeah, so for me, there's two main reasons for propane. Number one, very stable fuel. It does not degrade over time. So when you're talking about things like rolling blackouts, power outages, natural disasters, all of these things have one thing in common. They're unpredictable. So you don't know when you're going to need that fuel source. And having a fuel source that's as good on day 1000 as it is on day one gives you really great peace of mind, long-term storage. Number two, it's a much more environmentally friendly option as opposed to your diesel or gasoline generators that you mentioned. It's approximately 60% less emissions on the carbon monoxide end of things, for a little context there. So between the stability and the environmental impact, I'm a massive fan of propane.
What about cost? Because that's always what we look at, the costs, of course.
Yeah, and cost is difficult to say here. It very much depends on the size of the generator that you're going to be installing. So again, if you go and you do that electrical load calculator, it will spit out the size of the generator and give you the associated cost with it.
Anthony, I'm liking this idea because I'm thinking about building up in the mountains myself. So where can I find out more information?
Yeah, so if you check out propane.com/generators, it'll have everything we talked about here today and a whole lot more.
Anthony, thanks for joining us this morning.